Hello, students. Welcome to the YouTube channel of IPM Careers. Uh, we have got a lot of requests from the students to discuss the previous year questions of IPMAT Indore. So we thought, why not? So we have got the series to discuss the all previous year questions of IPMAT Indore, right? And that too topic wise. On the first day, we have thought to start with the logical reasoning section questions, which basically come under the section of Quant MCQ, right? So on that note, we are starting with the first set of LR, which appeared in the exam of 2023. So let's read the set first. See, the set says that a pharmaceutical company tested 5 drugs on 3 different organisms. The following incomplete table reports if a drug works on the given organisms. For example, drug A works on organism R. As you can see, there is a tick, while B and C work on Q. Apart from that, we are given 4 more points. Point number one says that each drug works on at least one organism, but not more than 2 organisms. What does it mean? That there are 5 drugs, as we can see, and 3 organisms. So every drug works on at least one organism, but not more than 2 organisms. That means that every drug works either on work organism, either on one organism or 2 organisms, not more than two. And that works for all the drugs, right? So we can say the same for all of these 5 drugs, A, B, C, D. Then in the next line, they are saying that each organism can be treated with at least two and at most three of these 5 drugs. So there are 3 organisms, and each one can be treated with at least two and at most three of the 5 organisms. Means they can be treated with either 2 organisms, with either 2 drugs or 3 drugs, right? So let me mention this also in this table. Next line says that on whichever organism A works, B also works. Okay, this is a very important point. Though the meaning of this can be discussed in details, which you can do in some other session. But right now, let's do this only for this particular set. So they are saying that on whichever organism A works, B also works. Okay, and they are also saying that similarly on which organism C works, D also works. All right. So a lot of people take this meaning in some wrong manner as well. See, they are saying on which organism A works, B also works. For example, you can see that organism R can be treated with drug A, so it means it can be treated with drug B as well, right? But a lot of people also understand that on which organism A does not work, B should not work as well. So guys, this is not necessary, let me tell you. This may happen or may not happen as well, right? This statement is not necessarily true. Now, the last line is that D and E do not work on the same organism. So meaning of this is also very crucial to understand. So they are saying that D and E do not work on the same organism. So what is the meaning of this? See guys, they should not work on the same organism. That means, let's say if D is working on an organism, E should not work, right? Or if D is not working on an organism, E should work. Or there can be one more meaning of the same, that D and E both do not work on the same organism. That can also happen, which a lot of people ignore in the beginning. Guys, we need to understand they should not work on the same organism, but it doesn't mean that they must be working on one of the organism for sure. It doesn't mean so. So we can also say on this that among D and E, right? Among D and E, we can say that they should work maximum on one organism. Either they work on zero organism or they work on one organism, but not more than one organism for sure. So this is the only thing which you can say on the by the help of point number 4, right? Now, guys, when you see the questions basically are talking about that which drugs can be treated with which drug treats which organism, or which organism can be treated with which drug. So first of all, let's try to fill this table as much we can, right? So the table here says that drug, as we saw, that organism R can be treated with A. So we also understood by the point number 3 that it can be treated with with drug B as well, right? We got to understand this point number 3, right? Now they were saying that if an organism can be treated with drug number C, it can be treated with drug D as well. So we can apply this on organism Q because Q is treated with C, so it can be treated with D as well, as you can see. Right, guys? After that, they are saying that each organism can be treated with either two or three drugs. So if you see organism Q, it has already been treated with three drugs. It means it should not be treated with drug A and drug B. Right, guys? We can say this also, as you can see. Okay. After this, we also know that each drug can treat either one organism or two organisms. So if we talk about drug B, it is already treated with two organisms. It is already treating two organisms, so it should not treat the third organism P, right? Okay, so now we can see that the drug B is not treating the organism P. So should it treat the organism? Should drug A treat the organism P or not? So there can be 2 points. Either it treats organism P or it does not treat organism P, right, guys? But remember, we know that if drug A is treating any organism, then drug B should also treat the same organism. But if you can see that drug B is not treating the organism P. So if A is treating organism P, then B should also treat organism P, but that is not happening. It simply means that drug A should also not treat the organism P. So we finally got the point here that drug A is not treating the organism P, which is very important point to understand, right, guys? So finally we got the point that drug A is not treating the organism P. This is one of the points where most of the students make the mistake, right? I hope this is clear to all. After this, we can say that organism P so far is not being treated by two of the drugs. So there are three more drugs are left to treat organism P, right? And we know that each organism is treated either with two drugs or with three drugs, right? We have very important point among the drugs D and E, that drug D and E can treat maximum one of the organism, not more than one organism, right? And we also know the point that uh, which drug, if drug C is treating any organism, then drug B should also treat the same organism, right, guys? So by the help of these 2 points, we can definitely talk about organism P, right? The remaining information about the organism P. So guys, let's say as you got the point that drug D or E can treat maximum one organism, right? So let's say drug D and E together here can treat maximum one organism, right? Let's say maximum one or zero organism, as we know. Now, if drug C does not treat the organism P, the condition of two or three which will not fulfill, right? So definitely drug C should treat the organism P. That is definitely right, guys. Because if drug C is not treating organism P, then organism P cannot be treated with two or three drugs, right? So drug C should definitely treat the organism P. Now we know the point that if drug C treat a particular organism, then drug D should also treat the same organism. That means from here we can say that drug D should also treat the organism P because drug C is already treating the same organism, right? Now, guys, we know that among drug D and E, if we talk both of them together, so they can treat maximum one organism. Since drug D is already treating organism P, drug E should not treat the same organism P, right? Now, guys, after this, you can say that this table is almost done. See, if we talk about the drug C, any drug can treat maximum two organisms, and drug C has already treated two organisms, so it cannot treat the third organism R, right? The same rule goes for drug D. It should also not treat the organism R. And we can say about drug E, see, every drug should treat at least one organism, and so far drug E has not treated any of the organisms, so it should treat the last organism R. And it is following the other conditions also of organisms, that every organism should be treated by at least two and at most three drugs. You can see that organism Q is treated by three drugs, and organism R is treated by again three drugs, and P is treated by two drugs. So all the conditions are satisfying, and we finally got a table to answer the questions of this set. Now finally we can answer the questions. Let's see, guys, what are the questions here. See, the first question on this, it's saying that drug E works on. So let's see, guys, drug E works on which organisms? drug E works on only organism R. So we can say that the answer of this problem has to be option A. Very simple question, guys, after filling the table, right? Second question says the organism or organisms that can be treated with three of these five drugs is or are. Means which organisms can be treated with three of the drugs, right? So let's see, guys, which organisms can be treated with three drugs. So organism Q is treated by three drugs, and organism R is also treated with three drugs, as we can see. But organism P is treated with only two drugs. So answer should be organism Q and organism R, right? So let's see, guys, which option is the answer. We can say the best answer is here, option B, right? Look at the question number three. Question three says that drug B works on. Okay, so let's see, guys, drug B works on which organisms? Drug B works on organism P and Q, right? So the right answer is drug P and Q, which is option number C, as you can see here, right, guys? Let's look at the question number four. See, questions are very easy after doing this, as you can see, right? Question number four says what? Question number four is asked that organism P can be treated with. So let's see, guys, organism P is treated with which drugs? Organism P can be treated with the drugs C and D. The answer is C and D, right? Let's see which is the correct option. C and D is option number B, as you can see. Last question of this set, that organism R can be treated with, all right? So organism R can be treated, as you can see, with the drugs A, B, and E. So answer is A, B, and E. Let's see the correct answer, right, guys? A, B, and E is option number C, right, guys? So this is how we can solve this set. See, guys, comparatively, it's not as difficult set, right? So if such kind of set is coming in the exam, we should ideally solve this set, because by the help of this set, we can answer five correct questions, right? So this can be really turnover in the exam, right? You should not leave such kind of sets in the exam. All right. So guys, this is all for the day, right? In the next session of this, we will be discussing another set of LR from the previous years, 2022, 2021, and so on. So first, we'll be discussing all the DILR sets from the QA/MCQ section, and then we'll be coming to the typical cons topic one by one. So this is all for this session. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for so much for joining here.